Hello everyone. So today is Wednesday, May 27th, and this is Mouse. This is my garden. We're going to do my second weekly garden tour. My petunias and euphorbia are starting to look really pretty. I'm really excited about how much growth and density the euphorbia is starting to give off, and the petunias in all 5 baskets are just starting to bloom their absolute heads off, which is great. I'm trying something a little bit different this year. I'm actually going to use fertilizers instead of just compost. I am using organic fertilizers, so that's a little bit better. But I am going to use them this year because I've had some good years, but then I've also had some really bad years, and they've all been on years where it's been like absolutely super fresh soil. And since I don't always change out all of my soil all the time, I figured the fertilizers were a good way to bump up the fertility of the soil and hopefully bump up the production of my plants. Because like I said, blooming their heads off, they're absolutely gorgeous, beautiful blooms, and the euphorbia is getting super dense. You can see right in there, it's really dense. I'm really excited about that. All right, so you'll notice that my garden beds have a weird cast on them this week. I've spread a product by Bonide called Repels All. It's basically granulized garlic and cayenne pepper and lime and lemon oils, I believe. That's all been pelletized. It's a repellent for rabbits, gophers, cats, anything that'll get in your garden and munch on things or scratch at the dirt and dig, so on and so forth. Because I actually had to replace one of my Uncle Wayne's. They've eaten all but 2 of the zinnias that I planted here that I just planted like 2 days ago. All that zinnias that I showed you last week, yeah. They've eaten all but 2 of them that I planted here. I planted 6 in between each set of tomatoes, and I've had some issues with them just getting munched on. We've got some good growth. The tomato that snapped off that I was worried about it dying because I just buried the stem in has bounced right back. It's got some good new growth on it. It's actually about 4 inches taller. And when you tug on it, it's got some good resistance. So it's got some roots. So I'm happy about that. But like I said, I've had some zinnias get eaten, and I'm really frustrated with that. I did end up planting my echinacea. I had 5 of them, and I had some of those get eaten as well. So again, Repels All is pretty much everywhere. It's organic. It's, like I said, it's just garlic and cayenne and a couple different essential oils just to make a smell that pests don't like, because it's garlic. It's strong. I don't mind it. It smells good to me. It smells like I should be grilling a steak. My garden peach tomatoes. Oops, sorry. Yeah, they did not grow back. I had one that was starting to sprout new leaves, so I did pot that one back up, but I did just replace them. I replaced them with a tomato called Heartbreakers Dora. I believe it's a paste tomato, but it's a bit more of a heart shape instead of the traditional pear like a San Marzano, so it's not going to be long. It's going to have more of a, I don't know if I can't make a heart with one hand, but literally to be more of a heart shape, which I think is pretty cool. But I have a lot of growth. Some of my zinnias are doing really well. Like I said, there's supposed to be 6 in between each and every one, and I think all of them have at least lost 1, except for this one. This one's just really small. But the top growth has been chewed off. Those are just the seed leaves, so I don't even know if that's gonna make it. And again, I think that one did it too. Yeah, I think I've had some serious issues with pests, so I'm going to be a bit diligent about putting Repels All down and making sure that my garden smells foul to pests, because I'm really frustrated. My peas are finally starting to climb a little bit better, which is exciting. Not quite as good as I would like, and I wish they were further along, because I'd really like to start getting the other items that are supposed to be going up on these trellises in the ground. I may end up having to start them, which I didn't really want to do, but I think I might have to. I think I lost one of my strawberry popcorns. I don't know if it just didn't get enough water or what, but it's not looking so great. The other one looks okay, so maybe I'll have one. I put Repelzol on my blueberries too. That's why it looks all funky. That's just the Repelzol and a little bit of water that's mixed together. But the blueberries look good. I've got quite a few. Looks like I'll actually get a decent harvest off of them. Let's see. Oh yeah, this guy. So you can see it is definitely still alive, but man, is it ever struggling. And I've got berries on here too that may actually develop, which is insane. But we'll see. And it looks like blossoms. Some new blossoms starting, which is amazing, but I don't know, we'll see. I really hate the look of it because it looks so bad compared to the other one. I may take it in the backyard and just have one pot up here, or take it and just plant it in the woods somewhere and see if it does well, and then if it does well, take and put it back in the pot. I don't know. Again, Repelzol is everywhere. It looks a little weird. It's got, you can see it falling off. My broccoli. I have an eggplant there that's getting shaded out by my collard. So I may do a harvest of my collards actually, because they're starting to get a bit leafy. So I could actually probably get, I don't know if I quite have enough for just collards, but between the collards and the Swiss chard, I probably have enough for lunch. Oh, I did plant something new over in this bed. I decided what I was going to put in this hole. I have a mammoth jalapeno, just one. It's the only chili that I'm going to grow this year. Normally I grow something a little bit more abnormal, but I've noticed recently that the only chilies that my husband and I actually ever really eat are jalapenos, or if we order pizza from Papa John's, we'll eat the pepperoncini. And that's about it. So it's like, maybe we should just stick to what we like. The mint bed and the elephant ears are looking good. The elephant ears haven't poked up yet, but they were starting to bud when I planted them, so I'm hopeful. If not, it'll just be a mint bed and whatever. Like I said, those bulbs weren't super expensive. I got them at Costco. I think I paid $10 for both of those two massive bulbs. And when I say massive, I mean the bulb itself was almost a foot tall. They were ridiculous. Oh, I know I said in last week's video that I wasn't going to plant it up, but I decided against it. So I planted up my little fairy garden right here. I got some grass types. I've got brass buttons, which when this flowers, it'll have little tiny yellow flowers come out of what looks like a fern, which I think is really pretty, but it's miniature and it's super cute. This one's already been top dressed with pebbles. This one I'm going to get a different pebble, I think, just so that they're slightly different on the two levels. I did rearrange how they're set up. Last time I did this, I had this one set much further back. This time I have them overlapping, so it's more soil reservoir for the plants that are in the bottom, and it makes the runoff or the run out from the top go into the bottom. So hopefully that'll help me retain a little bit more of the nutrients. There are lots of weeds right now in the whole garden. The potatoes are starting to push through, which is super exciting. So you've got some right here. He's pushing through, it's so cute. I've got a bunch of growth on this one, which is awesome. And I did put Repelzol in these two. Oh, this one's huge. I haven't looked at this one before. This one almost needs to be hilled in. Good Lord. Wow. I have not done much weeding this week because I ordered more cocoa shell mulch. That's what this is. This is cocoa shells. So it's not just like brown wood mulch. It's actually cocoa shell husks. So like from the chocolate industry. I ordered 4 more bags of those from Amazon because I really love them. When you first put them down, it makes your whole garden smell like chocolate for a week. It's great. And they're an abnormal organic source. So the nutrients from where cocoa shells or from chocolate is grown are different from where my garden is, because I don't live in the tropics where chocolate is grown. So I figure the breakdown of the organics of the cocoa shell mulch will bring some trace elements that my garden may not have. So that's why I decided to go ahead and go with a rather expensive mulch. They're like $23 to $30 a bag. I think I got them on the lower end. But I've seen a bag of cocoa shell mulch in the size that I ordered go for as much as like $60, which is insane. But with the benefits of the smell and the fact that I'm going to get some trace elements that I wouldn't otherwise have, possibly. And I wanted to get rid of the bag that I already had, and then it just looked weird with it just being partially cocoa shell mulched. I just decided that I was going to bite the bullet and go ahead and put down more. I didn't talk about this last week, but about 2 years after my husband and I moved in, actually my husband, you guys know him as my boyfriend from previous videos, we got married a month before we moved into this house. So, or no, a month after we moved into this house. But about 2 years later, maybe the second spring we were here, his grandmother bought us this tree. This is a pawpaw tree. It is a native member of the custard apple. So it's supposed to, it's a native member of the custard apple, and it's the farthest northern zoned member of that family. So it's been in the ground for a couple years. We keep having really weird springs where it'll get really, really warm and all the blossoms will come out, and then we'll have a cold snap come through and everything will get frosted and all of the blossoms fall off. So it's been in the ground now for almost 4 years, maybe even 5, and it's not going to give us fruit again because all of the blossoms are down. It is sending up a sucker, which is good actually. Pawpaws are a colony tree, so they actually usually will send out runners or they'll send out suckers. And apparently they work better if they have multiple trunks or multiple trees of the same variety close to them. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's because we're just that little bit too far away from the other pawpaws that are lining the creeks and stuff around here. I don't really know. But I'm going to go ahead and actually let that grow. And if it gives us some blossoms sometime soon and we actually get some, because I mean it's budded up all over the place. I mean, you can see where I've trimmed it right in here. Yeah, you can see where I've trimmed it in some places where I had like winter dieback, or like I lost my main leader a couple years ago. Ugh, that was scary. I was like, no. But yeah, we'll see what it does. I'm getting kind of frustrated with it. I don't know if maybe we planted it a little bit too deep, because I do have to keep it cleared out so I can see the root flare, and it is below the regular soil level. But we also want to level our front yard, because I don't know if you can notice, it's actually very hilly. We had a tree right where that dark green patch of grass is, not all this lovely creeping Jenny. Whoever planted creeping Jenny in my neighborhood should be shot. Because I can't get rid of it. I've tried everything except just tilling up my whole yard. But we want to level the yard. We want to bring it all down so that it's below the level of the sidewalks, because right now it's above it. So it makes it really hard to maintain. It makes it really hard to mow this edge right here without scalping it, which is why you see these dead patches, which is really annoying. So I think that's one of the things we're going to look at doing probably. I don't know if it's going to be this year, because I've said that every year, but it needs to be done. Because like I said, it's annoying. It's a pain in the ass to mow because it's so hilly, and you have to do like, you literally have to mow it in 4 directions. So up and down, side to side, and then both diagonals to get it to actually all be the same length of the grass. I mean, if you just mowed it in one direction, it all looks the same length, but it's not. Like, you'll have holes that, like, if you're not careful, you could break your ankle in our front yard. Like, we don't let the neighborhood kids play, obviously, because of all the plants, but we wouldn't let them play anyways, because our front yard is dangerous because it has all this unevenness. Also, over by the fairy garden, which I didn't show you before, I bought a new hosta for the backyard, which you guys have not seen. I'm kind of excited about it and also kind of nervous, because this is an Empress Wu hosta, which is the largest hosta variety there is. So when it's fully grown, I believe, let me check the plant tag really quick, because it came with one. Haha. Let's see. will be 3 to 4 feet tall. And then, what's the width? Sorry, that plant tag is really gross. Probably about the same. Yeah, I think it's going to end up being the same. It doesn't say it automatically on here. Oh, here's a picture of it with a little girl next to it for reference. So it'll be huge. Absolutely gigantic. And I want to put it around our air conditioner because it's a good way to distract you from the air conditioner. But we'll see. But yeah, that's my garden tour for this week, guys. I have more plants. Oh, here's that garden peach that actually sort of survived, but not really. Like, see, it has growth. So like I said, I potted it up and I'll baby it for a little bit. I probably won't keep it in my garden. I'll probably give it away. And then, oh no, is that the garden peach? No, that's the Uncle Wayne. Uncle Wayne's did a little bit better. And then garden peach, you can see it, but it's super tiny. See those little tiny leaves right there? It was starting to recover, and I probably could have left it in, but I would have only had one. And I like to grow 2 tomatoes in my 2.5-foot tomato cages. Yeah, so you'll see them later this summer. They're pretty cool. All right, guys, so that's my garden for this week. Have a good one. Bye.